Flowing Tavern Talk. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tavern Talk. And you might be noticing something. I am by myself because my brother Dan is abroad having the time of his life, and we wish him adieu, bon voyage, safe travels, c'est la vie, hasta la vista, baby. All of the trite tropes anyone sends to someone when really we just want to say, God, I hope your plane doesn't crash mid-flight. Brother Dan landed safely in Europe, and he's having, again, the time of his life. Anything he says in chat is going to be put into the show because he is a part of the show. But need not fear, I am by myself, but I am not by myself. I have some of the greatest guests we've ever compiled for one of these episodes. We have for you DanaLou, our friend, Hollywood actor Jansen Ashley Lee, and our new friend, ElfWitch. Let's bring him on in. Say hi. Be effusive in your praise. Quietly applaud, as Brother Dan would say. Oh, the dancing backstage. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome. Are we hearing any music? Let me turn this up. All right, there is the music.
Yeah, I hear it.
All right, so this I'm going to lower that. Thank you for that. We are using a new system, so let me know in chat if the music is going loud or not. Oh my gosh, it's already happening. Matt Stagger, welcome back, Jansen and Zool. And well met, ElfWitch. Matt Stagger is one of our favorite human beings. We tell him we don't need the money, but we do. He knows it. Mrs. M, hello! And we're just saying hi to all of our friends. Welcome, Jansen. Welcome, ElfWitch. Welcome, DanaLou. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on our show. In the tradition of Brother Dan, we have a new guest, and our new guest needs to be... we have a tradition. We give you 5 questions. I don't maybe remember them, so you're going to get my new 5 questions. What is happening? We have a... Quesadilla. What is... All right, so it's already happening. Everyone's excited. I got a rap when this comes on. ElfWitch, I'm happy you're here to be our new friend. I'm gonna make it clear that you're welcome every now and then. When I invite you, don't bug me too much. All right.
Well, I told you you're my new friend.
That didn't really rhyme very well. I'm gonna get better. All right.
If you don't try, you're not gonna make it happen. Now, I'm glad to be here. As I told you in my text, I was like, when you reach the bottom of your guest barrel, yeah, give me a call.
Well,
it didn't take long.
No, you made an impression on me at WatCon, so I had to have you on as soon as possible. Thanks for joining.
Was so much fun at WatCon, yeah.
And Jansen, you've been busy on many, numerous Hollywood sets, hobnobbing with the goblins. Thank you for giving us your time.
Always, man. This is one of my favorite things to do and one of my favorite books to talk about. And this is awesome. I'm so happy.
All right. I feel like you might be a little quiet. Thanks for the sound check. I'm going to increase your mic volume. All right, here we go. And DanaLou.
Yes. Hello.
A longtime guest. One of our first friends ever. The first human being to walk me through Discord. And it's been a downhill spiral since. Thank you, DanaLou, for joining me. I knew I needed a familiar friend because my brother's not here, and I'm going solo bolo for the first time. Yeah, we miss you, Brother Dan. All right, so, but we are here to talk Heroes of the Horn. We were treated to a teaser trailer. What are people calling it? I was calling it a teaser.
It's a behind the scenes, like sizzle.
Sizzle reel?
Yeah.
All right, it was a behind the scenes sizzle reel. And one of the images we got was this.
Yep. And right before that, yes, there you go.
Yes, the Subaru and the horses. All right, so let's talk about it. I put a poll on YouTube. We're going to close that poll very soon. Do we think this means we're getting the Heroes of the Horde? What does our panel think?
I think so.
I think so.
All right.
Pretty much no question, I think.
I think that's Hawkwing right in the front.
Whoa!
Well, I thought those were white cloaks.
No, I think that's Hawkwing in his some kind of like old school robe.
Show it to us, please, Ryan.
I shall. I thought the consensus was we're looking at Eamon Valda back from the dead.
But I don't think Volda died in the first place.
I agree with that.
I think that's the new white cloak.
All right, so Jansen, I will ask you to look at the helmets, kind of the face guards on the horses.
I'm looking.
I think that is a Shanshin specific little.
You're right. Those are white cloaks,
They're all in white.
Yeah,
Dusty
right.
white. They're dirty.
The ones that are behind the Subaru, you can see the way they have their cloak thrown back over their right shoulder, and that's the way all of the white cloaks are wearing their cloaks.
So is it Volta or is it Jeff from Barnhold?
It's
I think
Balda. He looks dark.
The first one?
Yeah.
Because then that's a new change we have to talk about.
Oh, right.
Oh, true. Yes.
Well, I mean, wait, really? Wait, I thought we met.
Volta was never at fault.
Oh no, he wasn't.
Oh yeah. No, him being
know.
there is a change. Okay, I agree with you on
there.
that. Yes. And also, I mean, striking the thing like maybe the elephant in the room is that they're in the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Well,
What's that all about?
Tomon Head was always described as really sparse, so I guess they could make it a desert, but I never felt like it was a forested land or anything, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with this as well.
I am, especially now that I'm thinking about the fact that I think that they're going to write out one of the white cloaks, one of the major white cloaks. I think they're writing them out.
Which one? Jack King?
No. What's his name? Starts with a B.
Valen.
No, the one that hates Aaron more than anybody in the book.
Bayar.
Child Bayar?
I think Volda's taking his place, so he might be there. He took his place basically in the first show.
I've heard a lot of people saying that kind of blonde anime figure we see in the sizzle reel. I've heard a lot of people say that's Child Bayard.
I want that to be Bayar so bad. When I first saw him, I was like, he's crazy. He should be Bayar.
That's so funny. I wanted Child Bayard to be homely looking. That guy's too sexy to be Child Bayard. Like I want to play him as a character on a video game.
That's a possibility, I would say, because his clothing and armor looks quite ornate. That he must be pretty high up. So
I think so. Then Jeff from Barnhold's son.
I don't know if I think he looks too old to be Dane. To me, but so Jacob Carradine or Bayar or it's full spoilers. They're good candidates.
Wasn't somebody mentioned the burn on someone's face, and it looks like he might have some scarring on the side of his face that we see?
That's what it looks like
I don't remember
to
what
me.
character that was.
Well, that's yeah, burn on their face.
And
there's only two characters who had burns on their face or scars on their faces that I can think of, and that's one of the Forsaken, Samael.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
and the Golem.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I just was thinking of comments I had read. And I've read so many comments lately.
Yeah, but that actor does look like he has, burned right here.
But
most of his face is covered.
Wait, didn't Uno look like he is like torn up a bit?
Yes, Uno is definitely. He's like.
Oh, look at me! I'm smart.
Yeah, Uno.
Like, guys, I'm just gonna say it right now, just because everyone is really viewing you guys through the lens of me, right? Because they've been watching me for so long. So like, I just want everyone to know that I am intimidated by everyone on this screen. So if I say anything remotely intelligent, like, please hype me up. Give me the kudos. These guys are walking encyclopedias, and I'm a numbskull.
Well,
now I'm nervous.
Okay, so
yes,
Ryan,
your shirt like is enough. Like you could have literally said nothing the entire show, and your shirt.
By the way,
wait! Let's bring this banner down.
There you go.
Oh!
And this color is leaf, so it's very meta.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm crying on the inside. I'm professional, but I'm. Thank you. Yeah, we do have merch, and if you wear it live, you get a double bonus kudos from us.
Oh, thank you.
Bonus points.
But I'd like to know ElfWitch better.
Yes. Yeah. So ElfWitch. Yeah. So we have 5 questions. Let's change. Yeah. So you're gonna get the proverbial 5 questions, and this is gonna be from memory because I don't remember all these. So we're gonna change this music up. All right, ElfWitch. What is the first concert you've ever been to?
It was like a soft rock concert. It was Gordon Lightfoot, I want to say.
Okay.
Okay. And what was the last concert you've been to?
Oh my.
Gordon Heavyfoot?
Maybe.
Okay.
My own, because I'm in a chorus of Sweet Adeline Singers, and we put on a performance last night.
Nice.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, you are a performer. So Sweet Adeline?
Yeah.
Explain.
So four-part harmony, a cappella.
Uh-huh.
And so like jazz is one kind of music that was made in America, okay?
Uh-huh.
Barbershop music is another kind of music that was made in America from African-American heritage. And the choruses in Sweet Adelines were formed in like the 1940s and 50s. And beyond. And my chorus was chartered in 1954, and I've been singing with them for 20 years, and I sing bass, so I sing the low part.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a nerd in many areas.
This is okay, but I swear, of all of the sentences that came out of your mouth, I'm the bass. Did not. Wait, how's my bass?
Bass, baby.
All right.
That was surprising. Yeah.
How's my bass?
I'll take it.
All right. Okay. Good night, sweetheart. Well. All right. All right. So welcome. All right. So first and last concert is Gordon Lightfoot, followed by you. Have you ever seen an actual thatched roof?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to England, but I was only in the city. So that's kind of where I would imagine I might see one, but I have not seen one actually and said, oh, look, that's a thatched roof. No.
Okay. Have you ever seen a proper castle?
I did tour castle when I was in England. I toured Castle Warwick. And so, yes, I'll say yes to that one.
Did it live up to its your dreams as a child?
Oh, it was awesome. I totally. It's been a long time. That was like in 2000, but I loved every minute of it.
At any point did you realize like Rapunzel could never have gotten off of that shit? That's too high. Too high. All right, and last but not least, have you had a proper honey cake? Proper's not the word.
I don't think so. That seems to be a thing here, and I don't think I have.
Okay, like you could answer like I am allowing the euphemistic answer. Have you had a euphemistic honey cake in your life? Hubba.
I can't think of one that would be a euphemistic honey cake.
Okay.
Unless it was a long john, like a donut type long john honey cake.
Long John honey cake. Yes. Moons in my hammy. All right, so welcome, ElfWitch. I'm so glad you made it. Jansen, old friend. DanaLou, old friend. Let's get into it. We need to talk about Heroes of the Horn. So consensus is that we're going to get it into the show. Get it in the show. And I want to ask everyone, what do you think it's going to look like? How are they going to portray it? How are they going to portray the Heroes of the Horn?
Can I tell you what I want to happen is I want them to be like the horses that come down and protect our friend Frodo when.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I want because they describe in the book that they come down out of the clouds.
Out of the clouds, yeah,
So
almost as if they emerge from it. Yeah.
But I don't want the ghosts to be like the ghosts in Lord of the Rings. I want them to be more solid.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you want to see the actor more than the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because we need to maybe recognize them later, right? Like we need to recognize them. Would it make sense if Brigitte is just like some like transparent figure? If we don't see facial figures, I recognize it. Would it make? I mean, that's cool. What do you think, DanaLou? Are they going to be full spectral or are they going to be humans?
Oh, I think they'll be humans, but they will do something with, after effects on them that where they look different. There's something about them that has like a glow or something.
I think they'll have a halo.
Yeah. But I think they'll have them on the ground, maybe coming out of the mist, but they're on the ground. I don't think we're going to get a fight in the sky. That's not, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I
don't know if that's in the budget.
Exactly. Right. And it's okay for what you can maybe imagine in your mind, but to try to, it would be kind of weird because it's one thing for you to consider that these heroes could possibly be some magically in the sky, but how are they fighting people who are on the ground? How are they, if they're up there, how are they affecting? Or if Rand is in the sky, how is he affecting? Like,
all of it, yeah.
It's hard to convey, I think.
Well, I mean, narratively, it's fog of war. Narratively, in the book, we're not given much details, and I love the idea that the show is going to fill in gaps.
Yeah, I think that's going to do that very well.
So, how do you think they're going to? Jansen, you look eager to say something. What were you saying? What were you thinking?
Well, I think that when they do the Hunters of the Horn or the Heroes of the Horn, I think they're going to be more than we think. Because look, it was a lot of them. It was hundreds of them that came to fight.
Yeah, it was 100.
Just over 100. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of them. Because there's also one thing we're not getting. When they called the heroes the first time, all the heroes didn't come.
All right, speaking of coming, I really need to cut you off because there's never been a more important coming in the history of the LeafCast. Brother Dan.
Whoa. How do you do? Can you hear me?
Loud and clearly, Ski.
Lovely. Top of the morning, lads. Eat your haggis. And
do you have a brogue yet? Yes.
I got a brogue in the last 3 days, Ryan.
How did I do with the 5 questions?
You did fabulous, Ryan. You're killing it. This is just such a panel of dignitaries that I had to jump in for a minute. I have a flight in like 6 hours, and yet. At 1 a.m. or whatever it is, I had to be a part of this. Hello, Jansen. Hello, ElfWitch. Hello.
I'm gonna throw you some kisses like frisbees.
Frisbee.
Oh, I'm gonna eat them.
Brother Dan, do you think the white fog means we're getting the Heroes of the Horn?
I do. I can't think of what else it's going to be besides a
rave
rally base in the desert.
Okay, it could be just like a Burning Man.
Could be
Tinker, like they could just be attacking a Tinker camp, partying.
Attacking a Tinker camp.
No. Okay, so yeah, we're Heroes of the Horn. And the last question, I'll take you as long as you got, but hey, before you have to go, how do you think it's going to be portrayed?
So what we've seen, I agree with you, Ryan, that I think that those are white cloaks rushing in. I think we have white cloaks on horseback. They're, hey, we're going to kill heathens or whatever. And the fog is coming from this way.
Why isn't it ever sheathens? It's always heathens. Why not sheathens?
I
They
prefer
deserve to
to be
die too.
I'd prefer.
Well,
to
no,
be-
because Brian,
They can have
women
it.
are not evil.
Death to the sheathens! Ah, charge!
So
It
I
looks
have
like
fun-
that guy's penis is just blowing all kinds of smoke. Put that back on.
Yeah.
That's a big unit.
Yeah.
It is. Oh my goodness.
That's a yeah. That he is a gaffer. That's the gaffer. You never knew what a gaffer was, but that's him.
Do you think
That's
his fan has 7 blades, like the 7 wheel, the torture wheel?
Oh, ElfWitch, that's beautiful. Yes,
should be.
I now in my head, yes, it definitely has some. Blades.
So we dubbed that the Tortangriel because it tortures you. We're
Could
fast.
be the Septangriel.
Okay, which step though?
Well, no, sept as in 7.
All right.
That's
There's
there's another.
I
step,
got it.
Yeah.
I've got a
Anyhow.
theory about that wheel that no one else has, I think.
Ooh,
So
Oh.
yeah, that wheel with the straps. With
Do
the
I
tell.
want to hear it. Do tell us.
So
Yeah.
what I think about that wheel is I think that is specifically only going to be seen in the world of dreams. And I don't think it's going to be torturous. I think Rand's going to be on it, telling everyone that he's Tavern and attached to the wheel. I think that's going to signify his importance. I even think we might see all 5 of them on it at some point.
Like in dreams or in real
shit!
life.
You know, you're attached to the wheel. It's you're tied to the wheel.
Is it going to be a metaphoric kind of dream imagery?
That's what I think.
Oh, okay. But you think they're all going to have to kind of endure that as a lesson, like you. So what is the lesson then? You're attached to the wheel. Hence what?
Jansen, you're beautiful. That's the Tavern. Tavern is strapped to the wheel.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I think.
Damn it, Jansen, you're. God.
I think Kieran's going to see it when he goes to the Wolf Dream. I think that Egwene's going to see it. I think that the Amy's and the Dreamwalkers are going to see it. And I think that if they're going to reuse that to see who's important to the wheel at the time and things like that, I think it's going to be something that shows them that.
Oh, is it kind of like everyone lines up and sees if the wheel like sucks them in and
Yeah, I can't see anybody else attached to the wheel other than the Tavern. You know, I don't see anybody else
Right.
attached.
The image in my head that I get from that is Rand attached to the wheel and like it's spinning and him like going crazy in this dream where he wakes up in a sweat. You know,
Okay.
from spinning on the wheel rolling and he's attached to it. That's the image I get in my head.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I have a totally different theory on it.
Hit us up.
There is like a seat that's a little bit throne-like that looks directly at the wheel, and it has it's a stone seat, and it has like a wheel like that might sit above your head or behind your head while you're looking through it. I think that is something for the watchers over the waves that it faces the water, and that they're supposed to sit in that seat and look through there, and that the Shanshan are going to come and say, you weren't doing your job, you were looking for the wrong thing, and they're going to strap somebody up to that instead of hanging him from a tower. They're going to strap him up to that and like make it and put him there and torture them or put them there until they rot or whatever.
Okay,
My first
okay.
thought was torture as well. I thought it was a medieval fuck device. Well, not fuck, but
Whoa! What have you been doing in Glasgow, Brother Dan?
pure kilt. I thought I did think it was kind of like a punishment wheel.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
is the Wheel of Time not a punishment wheel?
Yeah.
The dark friends think it is anyhow.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, I love that we all have different ideas.
so do I.
And I think, you know, that whatever happens, even if it's got a part of your idea in it, that it'll still be more. It'll be something, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that we'll all be kind of surprised.
Jansen, to your argument,
Yeah.
do you think that it's meaningful that it is clearly in this, maybe even the same desert that we see the battle happening? Like, do you think that's meaningful?
I do, but I think that they're just reappropriating the space.
Okay.
Tell me.
So I remember early on when this came out, many people were commenting that the background can just be irreverently changed to whatever they want it to be. So the desert can just become a forest, right?
Absolutely.
Is that true? Okay. Even without a blue screen. Is that what's happening?
You can do it without a blue screen, but it all depends on what you're doing to it, because they can actually, it's easier to add stuff on in production by splicing some film stuff. I've seen them do it.
Okay.
But I think that it's going to be, the dream sequences that we saw in the first one with Perrin especially, I think they're going to be like that. I think my theory is the seat is for Egwene and for Perrin.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. All right. And I remember someone pointing out that what we're seeing in this image, let me pull this up. Not this one. Right here. Like, this camera might just be getting very extreme close-ups of the writers, and it might be very easy to change the background, and they find it safer to do like a desert run where everyone's just running on a smooth, flat surface, right? And instead of like maybe even like a forested area where there's more risk of injury. So what we might be seeing here is, might never be seen. We might never seen 5 horses running in the desert, but we might see close-ups of dusty faces, very emotionally charging, right? That's what we might be seeing.
I have a comment about that, though. If you look on the left side, bring that image up.
You're bringing it up?
If you look on the left, I was watching Lauren unraveling a pattern. Way over the left, there's a trebuchet.
The trebuchet.
Yeah. The trebuchet. And then in the map scene that they show on the behind the scenes, you've got white cloaks in the background and white trebuchets on land.
Yep.
So I don't think they really want to change it. If they want to show the trebuchet, they'll show them galloping past the trebuchet, which is part of their, installations for war.
I like that idea. Okay, so we're just saying that this is just
some buildings or something, in the background, though. Like if they have a shot of some buildings, they could maybe put that in the background somewhere behind, like when they have their battle.
Yeah. How do you differentiate this from the IO waste?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Right? I mean, this is my first impression was like, why are the White Cloaks battling the IO? What's going on?
That's why I think it can't be the ill waste, because not at one time did we ever see any child of the light in the waste.
No, yeah. I mean, they're taking liberties, but that would be the pretty extreme. So yeah, that makes me just think like, okay, so if they're going to use this terrain and say this is, where was it again? Like, remind me, ElfWitch. Toman Head, like being as. I imagine they have to add post-production trees or something. Like they have to be able to differentiate this, because this is obviously a desert.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think it might be almost plain, because I also think that might not be Falma or Tomanhead, because when they were at Tomanhead in the book, it was an entire regiment of White Cloaks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was
not 5 people charging.
There's 1,000 White Cloaks that were there. Yeah.
Well, Ryan, to your point, that might just be a close-up of the leaders, and there could be eventually thousands behind them. However, I never pictured Tomanhead to look like this.
Yeah, I always thought it was forested.
Different. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. It's fascinating.
The opening scene of the entire season 2.
Ooh, okay.
I think we're gonna get Dark Friend Social.
Now remember, at the very beginning of the opening, because the opening of book 2 was through Joachim Carradin's POV.
All right, so Zool, do you have any kind of evidence backing up the idea of Dark Friend Social?
Well,
or any images online so far that I'm missing?
But I do know that the Dark Friend Social is going to be in season 2, because it was in the Q&A that Rafe did after SDCC. So he specifically said we are getting the Dark Friend Social, which is the way book 2 opened.
One word answer that said yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was super straightforward. Yes,
it was undeniable.
That's
Because
beautiful. So Jansen, knowing that we're getting a Dark Friend Social, if as a in your Hollywood vast knowledge, what choice would you make as a showrunner? Would you lead off with that? Would you bring it in later?
I think that the way that they did it in book 2, Great Hunt, was a great way to prologue everything, especially with the, they showed the importance of the Tavern. They showed he showed everybody, and then he also used compulsion on some people, and they don't even know what it was. They didn't even know what it was, including Jocko Carrot. And that was the very first beginning of book 2.
No, I love that. But then all of a sudden, can you on television introduce a character, and then where does he go?
Yes, you can. I think you can, at least, especially with. He'd have
to come back in season 2, right? You can't do an opener like that and then have him come back several seasons later, right?
So if it's a real social, who's the guy who's going to come back that everyone knows already? It's got to be Pat and Fane.
Was he there?
Ooh.
No, was not.
The only one that we know, the only one that we actually see there is because is the man called Boars.
Boars, yeah.
And Ingtar's there too.
Well, I mean,
the
that's
only
still.
one we know 100% is because it's from his POV.
Yeah, it's not 100.
Right. We know that there are at least 2 Aes Sedai. We know that there's at least one. We think it's Ingtar, but we know that there's one Shinaran. We know that there's a tinker that's there. So I really want to see how they're gonna show it without us knowing without us seeing their faces.
Well, details, you see an Aes Sedai ring, so you're gonna know it's an Aes Sedai of whatever Aja, because
everybody in
ring.
a cloak or something. Yeah.
Maybe some detail of lace on the sleeves that we can see in another. It doesn't have to be Boars that we see. It can be any of the characters that we're introduced to through Boars' eyes that can be shown as a detail in another episode.
You saw a sea folk lady too, remember? Or
yes.
Yeah, because you get tattoos.
And we have a tinker. We have a tinker.
We have a tinker.
Tinker Taylor.
Yeah, Boars was fuck that tinker.
Have we ever? Okay, so I mean, this is way off topic, and
it is. It's not here. So
totally.
I know, but welcome to Tavern Talk.
Tavern Talk is
also. Is everyone drinking at home? Feel free to imbibe on anything you want. If it's warm milk, wine, thank you.
Wine.
Awesome. Is that Ousque?
Ooh.
All right.
The other version that you can get in the town.
Who was the tinker at the Dark Friend Social? Is you confirm this?
Who was the tinker at the Dark Friend?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
Is that an like a thread that just wasn't ever resolved?
I mean, how many?
Or is it a puzzle we can't figure out? Sorry.
How many named tinkers do we know besides Rayan, Isla, and Aram? Not very many, I don't think.
Right. Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
And it's not any of them unless they count Aram in that. But at that point, he wasn't. So
no. Yeah, I think they were just using that point in the book to show that everyone from every race or every group could be a dark friend.
High station, low station, doesn't matter.
That kind of bothers me. Just putting it out there, it kind of bothers me. I want to puzzle this out like a master puzzle, and sometimes it's just that lead doesn't roll. Go on, bro.
Ryan, let me back you up. We do hear that when Rand is about to leave the Isle Waste, that there's a bunch of tinkers around, more than normal. So maybe that's
true.
Bringing people into the waste.
I mean, yeah,
hey, man,
yes,
maybe,
and
maybe.
There's also the point where Matt runs into all those dead tinkers, where one tinker might have killed them all.
Oh Jesus! Jansen? What are we?
Were they supposedly killed? They thought by Aiel, but it was.
Yes, and remember the one tinker wrote in his own blood, "Tell the Dragon Reborn," and couldn't finish it.
Oh, that's right. Where was that? Was that in Kyrian?
That was when Vannon found it and came to Matt and said, "You got to see for yourself."
All right, everyone, if you're not literally blown away in your seats right now, hell to the out. Like and subscribe. Jansen, Lashley-Haynes. Only on the LeafCast. We have exclusive rights to this mastermind.
And that's a great point. I mean, we do have some dodgy shit with a couple Tinker movements, but we don't hear any specific Dark Friend Tinker magic, whatever.
I will say that Robert Jordan specifically wanted some things left open. He loved it, the fandom, loved to talk about and theorize and puzzle things out, and he did not want all of the threads to be neatly tied off at the end.
He may have succeeded.
Right there.
All right, so let's get into that. What does that say about that man?
He's a sadistic.
Let's talk about that. Why would he do that to us? What a power fuck.
For a sequel.
All right, Matt Stagger, we love you. Jansen Lashley-Haynes, look at his IMDb page.
Yeah.
He's for real. He's been on Star Trek.
Prepare to spend a good 10, 15 minutes. Jansen, I love you. I'm glad you're here. ElfWitch, it's really nice meeting you. And Zool, you're the best. I'm going to have to split. I love you.
Good
job, brother.
I'm proud
Thanks,
of you.
brother.
All right. Don't drink the water?
I think
that's what you say to people.
Guinness.
It's pretty good? Okay.
The Guinness. Drink the Guinness instead of water. Definitely.
All right. Everyone's saying goodbye to you, but it'll come in 5 minutes later.
Take it easy, man.
All right. So
Cool.
we are going to dive even deeper. I hope everyone's enjoying this conversation. I am super excited. We're 40 minutes in, and I think we're just cracking the surface. Mm-hmm. ElfWitch, you brought up some questions you thought we might explore. You said, who placed the horn in the Eye of the World?
Right. So after the breaking, 100 Aes Sedai, men and women, put saidin in that pool. And so they placed the horn and the banner, I think those two things, in the pool.
And the seal.
And one seal. And one seal in the pool. So why did they do that? Moraine actually wonders this in the book. And so it's a good question. Did they just put it there for safekeeping? Or did they put it there because it had to be discovered before the dragon was reborn? You know, what were they thinking at that time?
They kind of explained a little bit of that in book 5 in The Road to the Spear.
Yes.
Because if you remember
book 4?
Book 4, I'm sorry, book 4 in The Road to the Spear, where Samastra was still there. He had just had the fissures on his face, and they were actually getting it together, and they hadn't even finished the sword yet. They hadn't finished Kalendor yet. And they were asking the woman, I forgot what the Aes Sedai's name was, but she knew a little bit because she was foretelling, and she couldn't tell them when they needed it.
So this was from a foretelling, or from
they knew they were going
not
to need
a prophecy necessarily, but from a foretelling.
Yeah, they knew they needed it. They just didn't know when. Remember, they were like, "It's all going to go for nothing if you can't tell us when."
So how did they figure it would be protected within a pool of saidin? Because
the Green Man.
Men weren't all gone at that point.
The Green Man talked about his role in this.
Okay.
And
I think it's the Green Man and the roving Eye of the World that you could only get there
with true intentions, right? Yeah.
True intentions and need. And the only reason that the two Forsaken were able to get there was because they were following the evil of the dagger, and they just kind of rode in on the tails of the people who, lawfully whatever went there.
Which I think.
Wait. You mean to tell me Matt killed the fucking Green Man? I didn't even realize this until now.
I'm sad for you.
I think I didn't know this either.
What the fuck? The only way they came, I thought they were trying. It was Matt Stagger, that motherfucking little fucking greedy.
Yeah, Matt Stagger did.
All right. Well, his redemption arc is strong, but killing the. All right. Maybe that's why no one talked about it after it happened, because everyone knew it was Matt's fault. We've talked about this day in Little Lore. Why in book 2 and 3 and 4? Why didn't anybody be like, "Man, that sucked. We just saw the last of the dying."
Yeah, nobody talks about it again.
It's gone. Maybe they did it out of guilt.
But is anything that Matt does while he's under the influence of the dagger truly his fault? I don't think so. I'm going to give Matt a pass on that.
Did he? Okay, well, how about the grabbing of the dagger in the first place? Let's talk about that.
Well,
as a Tavern, could he have not grabbed the dagger? We're going deep already.
I don't know.
Remember, it was already in his hand when they discovered who Mordeth actually was. So he ran with it still in his hand.
Yeah, Morden didn't lead him in any way to that, like. Although they did kind of. All right, let's get very technical. They did hear the whisperings, and they were like creeped out and like moved, I think, in response to certain. Right, like didn't they like avoid shadows in different ways because they were hearing like voices and felt they're being watched?
They felt like they were being watched.
Could that have influenced them in any? I'm just saying, like very technically, could that have influenced the boys to like kind of get to the dagger? Right,
yeah,
like
creepy AF.
Yeah, and it was a dagger in a path that just made sense because the dark, like, right, whatever Mordeth wanted, that, right, like a.
Okay,
it's not clear. Like
it could be that the pattern needed that dagger to be found.
It had to, because it's what took Matt's memories away.
Yeah, I think that it had to happen, even though he was a dumbass.
Right, we're triggering our favorite friend. Yeah, Matt, sit with this. Sit. Be strong. Deep breaths. Keep going, Matt Stagger.
You were necessary, Matt Stagger, but Matt was still a dumbass.
All right, so is this go back to what Jansen was saying, that Tavern like have no say, right?
Yeah, they don't have much say. No. Even Loyal says
that. Yeah.
Loyal says that Tavern have a smaller path to go.
Mm-hmm. Parent. There's a quote where Parent says, "There's nothing random with Tavern." Yep. That's a quote I remember from I reread about Tavern. Parent said it, which is weird. Parents.
Yeah, there are no coincidences. Fail.
There you go.
There's that. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, this is I love this discussion. So if Matt had no choice in the matter, then I cannot begrudge him anything, and I can just kind of like, he's a victim, or he is a precocious dweeb and he made a wrong choice, but it just happened to be advantageous because he's got this luck card.
He's a tool, and unfortunately, so is Rand, and so is Perrin. They're all just tools.
Actually, they all are. So, talking about Matt and the horn,
yes.
Do we think that Matt is going to be there and blow the horn? Is he going to be the horn sounder at Falm? Because the heroes don't just show up. You have to blow the horn of Valir.
I think he has to.
And the heroes follow the banner, so they have to have the horn and the banner.
Where's the banner going to come from?
Right. We haven't seen the banner from the Eye of the World, so where's the banner?
See, I think Matt is like a mule with a carrot in front of him, and the carrot changes all the time, and that's what gets him going. He needs that motivation. Like, the motivation of the horn is what made him do half the stuff he did in the first 2 books.
Wait. What in the first 2 books?
I think he was
the second and third book.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was following the dagger, which was with the horn.
Right.
Other people were like Ingtar or whatever, were really, we got to go get the horn. It was lost on our watch. We got to go get it. But you get like Rand and Perrin, and they were like, "Hey, our friend's gonna die if we don't get this dagger back." So that was part of their concern. And so, is that going to end up being something we find out at the White Tower, that he's still connected to it?
See, that's a good question.
What's going to be his motivation for going?
Because that's going to be interesting.
The question in the show, do we have to have Matt blow the dagger in the show? And I don't know that we have to.
The horn, the horn.
Blow it.
Well, blowing the dagger would be a different series altogether.
Indeed. The thing is that
Cinemax.
because of Matt's future arc, he gets disconnected from it. Because in the books, he's connected to the horn, and only he can blow the horn in the future and pull the heroes into the world because he's connected to the horn. Because he ends up getting hanged, he gets disconnected from the horn, and somebody else can blow it.
That's not why. It wasn't him getting
hanging. It's not the hanging. It
was
Ravine
killing him
with the lightning.
Oh, it was that. Okay, so either way, he died. His thread was stopped, and then somebody was able to blow the horn. So who are they going to have blow it at the last battle becomes the question.
Well, here's a good point. Like, actually, yeah, and we'll get to that question. Will we see Ulver? That's another question we'll dive into.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla says he has to because he needs something physical to keep him tied to Rand. If he hadn't blown the horn, he might have tried to stay out of it all, which he has been known to say. And I just want to say hi to Woman Dragon Rin. Hell to the yeah! One of the greatest names I've seen in months. Woman Dragon Rin. Where have you been all my lives, Woman baby? All right. What do you guys think of that point?
I think she's right. I think that Matt, if he could have, he would have ran as far as he could. He'd have been in Saliza playing both.
So now let's get into what the horn is. We know the moment that Matt blows a horn, he kind of did it in a fuck it manner. He's almost like, well, fuck it. They don't say you can't do it this way, and then he did it. Mm-hmm. Everything we know about everything that is like stated about the horn is that they respond to horn blowers who have like correct intentions. If you blow the horn out of your own guilty like pleasures, wait, help me out. What's that?
No. Basically, it's if you were like looking for glory or something,
yes,
then that's not it's if somebody is looking for protection,
salvation.
I thought it was salvation for everyone. No, I thought it was like look.
No, but it could be like Ulver needed salvation for himself.
Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, I wanted to get into this question. Yeah.
And Matt needed it for him, Perrin, Rand, and the Shinarans who were with him.
Okay, right? Which he had connections to. He felt so
and like he knew that Egwene and Nynaeve were there somewhere.
So is it that he's just saying? Is it that the horn? No, this is why Matt's so fun because Matt thinks one thing, says another thing, and then does another thing. And someone pointed out to me, and that's ever since then I've been like really analyzing this in this way, Matt. So the horn knows Matt's true intentions, even though he thinks to himself, fuck it. Right? Like, he's not thinking, I must save these people. But the horn's like, yeah, we got you, baby. Boom. Right? Am I right about this?
The horn reads everybody's mind because the horn, when the heroes come in, if you know one of the stories that Tom tells about any of the heroes of the horn, you see that person and you recognize them as the person in your story, no matter what name you know them by, and you know all of their names from all of their wheel turnings. And so the horn gets into everybody's brain and knows exactly what's going on. No matter what.
All right, that's a really great point, ElfWitch. Okay, so in my research, I remember reading this, right? Like the horn, if you even know like a hint of a story that even resembles one of these characters, you'll be like, holy shit, you're Luther Pendragon, and like then you'll be able to say, no, but you're also this guy. What does that mean?
Well, the horn's in his head, and like you said, it knows his motivations.
Well, also, don't you guys think this? I've always thought this, and this is about the horn. I've never heard anyone else say this. Don't you think that the horn also protected people when they held it?
Kept them alive so that they could blow it?
Every single person who had it in their hand at some point was being threatened with violence and never got hurt.
I never thought about that.
It's semi-sentient. I'll go with that. I mean, it's one of my other questions was how old is it really?
How many times has it actually been blown?
Well, okay, so there's many hints around that. Let's get into that, but also I'm going to steer this conversation real quick. You guys are amazing. Matt Stagger brings up a great point, and I think I want to dive into this. Hawkwing says the heroes of the horn fight of their own free will and serve the light, and that the serving the shadow blew the horn, the heroes could refuse to serve them. Now, we know that Hawkwing said to Rand, "Oh, I fought against you, and I fought for you." Time and time again.
Yep.
Is this a narrative contradiction that is
No, it's not.
Talk to me.
I don't think so.
Okay, because there are two things going on here. They can be called back by the horn, but they can also be spun out by the wheel whenever the pattern, needs them or wants them. Because Birgitta has lived many times during the 3,000 years, many lives during the 3,000 years, and none of the other ones. She was only called out by the horn twice in those 3,000 years. So,
wait. Oh, she's only called out twice? Okay, I did not see that in my research.
I didn't.
Yeah,
see
I
that.
mean, the only times that in the 3,000 years that we know from that were the Third Age, right? In the Third Age, she has had many lives, and that's because she was spun out physically into the world. Her soul was spun out, and that's how they get all these different names. And so there might be times where the pattern needs someone strong, like Arthur Hawkwing, like his soul, and the soul of the dragon to be spun out. They don't play out the dragon Dark One story, but they're strong characters, and sometimes they need to be on opposite sides in order to keep balance with the pattern.
Wait, start again, Jansen. You cut out for a second.
Well, I said they don't have to be bad just because they're fighting each other either. Matt Modron fought everybody. I mean, Matt fought everybody. And most of the people that he fought and were in his past lives that he remembered, they fought each other, but they weren't evil.
Right. They just happened to be on opposite sides of whatever fighting was happening. So, I mean, Lutheran, the soul of Lutheran and the soul of Arthur Pendrag could have come against each other in a war or been on the same side when they were spun out into the pattern. And so that's how they fought together. And you said that, so when the horn is blown, Birgitta said she's been called out twice by the horn in this age?
No, I'm saying we see her. We know that the horn has not been blown. We see her
get called out twice.
We see her get called out twice. We know that the horn has not been blown except those two times. Like for the Third Age, it's only been blown those two times by Matt and by an old.
Yeah, because we saw where they put it. Yeah, absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Because they put it. See, that's my question about the horn, though.
Okay.
Was the horn blown? Because they talk. Was the horn? Who made the horn?
Good question.
Yeah.
It was definitely human beings.
Because in book 4, when one of Rand's relatives saw them making, having the banner and had Kalendor, they had the horn there too. So they actually had somebody had found the horn and had it there.
Well, that was during the end of the Second Age you're talking, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those flashbacks. Yeah.
Well, I think that's after the breaking. It's like those Aes Sedai had been alive maybe during the breaking.
Yeah, but why wasn't it on for the war?
And it was a couple hundred years after the breaking.
Okay. Yeah, the Watt Wiki says that the horn was hidden by Aes Sedai at the Eye of the World. I don't know how they got that. I don't know where they gleaned that from, but that's what Wiki says.
That's true. That's true. According to the text, that's definitely true.
Which helps me because I always felt the ending of the Eye of the World was just like you beat the boss in a video game and you got some treasure, and it was always arbitrary.
Right.
Yep.
So,
You get a golden horn and you get a flag.
Yeah, like, yippee! Yeah.
And a warning as well. The seal was a warning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the broken seal.
But did Moraine identify it immediately when she saw what it was?
The
No,
seal?
because it was already broken. They had to put
I
it
think
together.
she did. they put the pieces together, and she realized what it was and that it should not be able to break. And so that's when they started down that path of, oh no, the 7 seals are breaking.
Gotcha. Reflected in the
dark
show.
one's touch.
Also, there's one huge thing we haven't talked about, guys. You guys we're talking about the Heroes of the Horn. Now, a question has been arose that the question's been asked: was Lews Therin one of the Heroes of the Horn?
Yes.
That's why yeah. Okay. Oh, ElfWitch strong. Yeah, this is the basis of the entire show. I was texting Jansen. I asked him this question.
I don't think he is. I think he's bound to the wheel. I don't think he's bound to the horn.
There are arguments
because the dragon is not bound. The dragon. I don't think the dragon is bound to the horn. I think he's just bound to the wheel.
Here's the biggest argument for, well, at least what I think is the biggest argument for why he's not part of the wheel. He is the only character that we have heard about that could channel that was associated with the wheel. None of the other souls in the wheel can channel.
Ooh.
That's great. Yeah, no, I love that point. So how do we reconcile the fact that when Rand met the Heroes of the Horn, they have intimate knowledge of them? And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's always women with you, huh? Blah blah blah." Like, what is that from? Is that because they keep encountering him time and time again as he's pulled out, or is it that he just hangs out with them in Tel'aran'rhiod and they know him?
I think he's in Tel'aran'rhiod. I was looking at an interview, and I think he's a hero of the horn. He gets spun out and fights with them and fights against them, and he's hanging out in Tel'aran'rhiod. I mean, we know that they can meet each other in Tel'aran'rhiod. At least we know that Birgitte and Gadel Kane do. So why wouldn't he be able to interact with them there? Although we don't know if anybody else does there. Those two souls are obviously very interconnected. But I'm with Lews being a hero.
Oh wait, so ElfWitch, you're actually questioning whether all the Heroes of the Horn hang out in Tel'aran'rhiod?
Well, they might not hang out together. They're probably there.
Okay, yeah, not I'm saying hang out. Yeah, like they're just existing there.
And I'm going to disagree that there are two different things. It's like the rectangle square thing. Like all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. So you have the squares are the Heroes of the Horn, and they are bound to the wheel. Like there are other people who are bound to the wheel, their souls to be spun out again and again, who are not Heroes of the Horn to be called back to fight. So I think it's possible that those who are also heroes, I mean, just bound to the wheel, maybe they are in Tel'aran'rhiod too because of their souls being there, because they're specifically bound to the wheel to be spun out again and again, like the dragon, like potentially Egwene was the same soul as Eldrine from Manetheren. There's enough evidence there that that's a possibility. So she could be, without being a hero of the horn.
I think that could be true. Now
I'm looking for the interview I saw, because I believe that there was an interview with Robert Jordan where he said that LTT was a hero of the horn. I had it on my tablet, on a tab on my tablet, which is not with me.
I'm going to look too.
I think,
and that makes for such exciting TV or streaming.
All right, so we know about Birgitte's experience of being like spun out back in the pattern as in human form, and that she would somehow always find Gadel Kane. Sometimes he's like a disgusting fat baby, right? Or so, like different ages, right? She'd always find him. Now, during those moments when and we can go through it, but she has a lush history of changing events. She changes the world around her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever read this breakdown, but I found it online. But she has done so many great deeds. So the companion mentions that one of her lifetimes, she was known as Tiadra. And she foiled a plan laid by Moghedien to trap Lews Therin. She died before Moghedien could get her revenge. Okay. At the founding of the White Tower, circa 47 AB, incarnations of Brigida and Galacane helped found the organizations that would help the modern day White Tower. So she was there then.
I found that surprising. I didn't know that.
The forming of the Compact of 10 Nations, she was there. Between the founding 10 Nations, the start of the Trolloc Wars, she had 2 incarnations between then. During the Trolloc Wars, she had 2 incarnations, but we don't know the names of these. This is just documented through what I'm saying is this is whatfandom.com. And between the end of the Trolloc Wars and Hawkwing, she had 2 incarnations. Elaine recalls a tale from this era where Brigida leads a band of thieves from the forest and robs a queen of Aldashar. And then during the Rise of Hawkwing, one of her incarnations was there. So it's just, she is not only just being spun out randomly, I guess, she's being spun out to impact the world.
She's working for the light.
Is that Tavern? What is happening?
Well,
so like,
not necessarily.
It's tied to the wheel as a hero of the horn, I guess.
It's another tool. It's like Tavern is a tool of the pattern, and the Heroes of the Horn are a tool of the pattern, and so.
What does the tool of the pattern mean? The pattern is instructing them step by step, like a marionette. Is a pattern a marionette of these people?
It's looking for influence. It's looking to make a little whirlpool that has effects on the people around. That's kind of how I picture it.
I mean, like
balance.
Like every time Brigida is spun out, I'm imagining she's being popped out of the mom. Wait, she's popped out. She's a little baby. Wah, wah, wah. She's got to grow up, right? So many things need to happen for that Brigida incarnation to get to the point where she's impacting the world in such a way that is historical.
And keep in mind, we're only talking for her sometimes living probably 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
They don't have long lives, especially a hero.
She only lived the old age one time that she could remember? And
so is this like Tavern Light? Is the Hero of the Horn?
At it maybe, yeah.
Are all Hero of the Horns when they're threaded out, impacting the world just a little bit, and then thrown back. And
some of them might be full Tavern, like Archer Hawkwing was the strongest Tavern in the Third Age before Rand.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
was Jesus a Tavern?
One thing I really like about
go on.
This Brigida, normally when they're spun out and into the physical world, they don't have any memory of any of their previous lives. When they're when they're being called by the Horn, when they're in Tel'aran'rhiod, they are aware of all of their other lives, and so that kind of answers how Archer can know different things about Lews Therin, because he can maybe remember different lives where he encountered Lews Therin's soul, and he remembers details about him. And I like that we get this view from Brigida, because then that kind of raises the question of, well, if she was a key figure in these things, all of the other people that we know of who were Heroes of the Horn must have been as well. Otherwise, how did they get bound to the wheel as a hero? Right? They had to have some influence that was notable.
Well, that brings up James Starstrider also. How did he get to be a Hero of the Horn at the end?
Well,
okay.
You guys also remember there are thousands of wolves who are also tied to Tel'aran'rhiod.
Are you kidding? Yeah. They're heroes. Right. Oh my God! Heroes of the Wolves of the Horn.
Wolves of the Horn.
That's amazing, Jansen. That's so amazing. I love that you.
I really thought about that.
You brought up the wolves to me also, like several times.
Well, the other thing you have to think about is too. I'm going back to where the Green Man was to find the Green Man. That was created by Tel'aran'rhiod vacuole because they still use need to find it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm 100% in that camp.
Yeah, it had to be because they need to find it. So
we do know that the pattern is thinnest, like it's right there near Shale Ghoul, which is where it was kind of floating around. So that, and as Rand fights, you get kind of a melding of the Teleron and the physical world. And I think there is something about the pattern there that allowed that access to the vacuole.
Well, the most powerful dreamer, who was Ishmael, used vacuoles all the time.
Not Egwene?
No. Piran's stronger than Egwene.
Oh, you're all right.
I want to see.
Wow, that was a nerd smackdown. Yeah, you're right. It's just a weave, Egwene.
I want to see you argue this with Critter XD, because she's
I'm
a
down.
Gwen Alvear. She's a Gwen Alvear on Twitter, and she is. I want to see this. Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, I know all the facts, so I mean, I can.
He backs it up. I love it. No, but I gotta say, like, in my little brain, like, I've been able to ask questions that make you go, and that makes me proud.
That's awesome.
My butt puckers.
Yeah, but he stopped Balefire.
All right.
It's like, what?
Just a weave.
All right, so we've talked about, is Luz Theron a hero of the Horn? Do you think Amazon thinks Luz Theron is the hero of the Horn, and when it is portrayed in the show Luz Theron, as we've seen him in the little flashback scene, will we see him ride forth?
No, because Rand is alive in the world in this timeline.
Yep.
So we will not see Luz. It's the same soul.
No.
He's already alive in the timeline. So we will not see him as a hero in this timeline.
But we will see them interacting.
Oh, Luz and Hawkwing and the rest of the...
Oh, Luz and Rand.
Oh, well, that's not because of the being
True.
tied to the horn, necessarily.
True,
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What do you think, DanaLou?
I don't think. I think we'll see him as Luz Theron and as Rand, and while they're in the physical world, I don't think we're going to get anything having to do with him being tied to the horn. I think we're going to get him interact. I hope we'll get like Arthur Hawkwing interacting with him like we do in The Great Hunt and talking to him, and so that we see that his soul does know these other souls. These other souls do know him, and that will be something for people to puzzle out, just like we're doing now. I hope, we do get the Arthur Hawkwing and Brigida and Rogashi, Eagle Eye and, Guidal Kane. I hope we do get some like noticeably different characters that they're going to give us this season. And that we'll see something of that interaction with like, hey, we know who you are and we've seen you before.
And that those like flashpoints might be grounding for when we enter Teleran Rail, hopefully, and we meet them. Like those moments where we recognize them will help connect those two in a way that's meaningful for the audience. Yeah, for sure.
We've already been introduced to Brigida as a hero through our little girl, Helga. And we love her, Helga. And so I'm hoping that, I bet viewers who are viewers only won't catch the doll to Brigida connection, but it's such an Easter egg for us. That's going to be great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I do believe there were some photos that were not released that where Brigida might have been on set.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Because you got to think about Massima is a huge piece of this. He's a huge piece.
Yes.
And no one's even thinking about Massima. I mean, we've already seen Gildon. So that's already going to be. Gildon is already there. Gildon plays a huge part in and Massima.
Okay.
So
Oh yes. So yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Also more gays. There's
and Ingtar in this whole thing in his hunt for the horn.
All right, hey everyone, real quick. Let's just check in real quick. How's everyone doing? I feel like I'm ready for a little break. I want to check in on what's everyone's time. Do you feel like you're ready to keep going? Anyone have a hard out?
No,
we're good.
I can keep going.
All right, so
until the end.
Awesome. So so everyone, I'm going to do a little announcement, and then we're going to take a short break. I want to point everyone's attention to our friend Koala Sadai. Koala Sadai is making these amazing game cards that the intention will be for us to all trade these cards when we are live and in person at the cons.
There's got to be some rare ones.
Well, yeah. So we have a special treat. They have announced the first 10, and I'm showing you these right now. These are the first 10. And for viewers of The Way of the Leaf only, you guys got to see their 11th addition to their set.
Bears? Who is it?
Let's see. No one's seen this before. This is drumroll, please. Oh yeah, baby! A loyal lover of nature, books and adventure from an unnamed steading.
Who is also not dead, I believe.
Will he survive this stabbing by Pat and Fane? Yeah. Unfortunately, Ray said he like 5 minutes after the first episode aired, he's like, guys, he's alive. Don't worry, he's alive. Yeah. Which made me so mad. I watch Game of Thrones, like I want, come on, kill Ned. It's all good. Just kill him. It's all good. Kill Lloyd if you want to. Kill him. Just kill him. This whole cliffhanger thing is like too much like old school Batman. Yeah, baby. All right. So we're gonna take a short break. Let's take let's say 5 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll jump back in here. I'm having a great time. I think everyone should just go up and pee and do what you need to do. We'll see you soon.
Bio break.
Right. Yeah, bio break. I love it. Hey, everybody.